It does help to add us to the fucking screen. To
Yes,
the
it
stream.
does. Yes, it
Hi
does.
guys. So here we are. Well, this is supposed to be our 5 a.m., but it's like more like 5, almost 5:30 Eastern time live, right?
Yeah, it is fine.
But oh yeah, 5:35 right now.
Yeah.
But anyways, welcome back to the racing show.
Yes.
Been what, 2 years since we've done this?
2 years, yeah.
We didn't do it last year.
Nope.
So 2022?
About 2022, yeah.
2022 or 2021?
Yeah.
When we were doing them Tuesdays at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Eastern, and then doing a show at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Back then you had Tuesdays off.
Yes.
Now you don't have Tuesdays off.
No.
Anyways, yeah, we're here to talk NASCAR 2024. NASCAR season is in full swing. We just had race 5 yesterday.
Yes, we did.
At Bristol Motor Speedway.
Yes.
Or better known as it's Bristol, baby. Also, Formula One has had 2 races.
2, yes.
Bahrain
and Qatar.
Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about those. Plus, Formula One will be going to Australia this weekend for the Australian Grand Prix.
Yep.
Going to be a big season for Formula One. 24 races.
Holy schmolies.
What are you going to schmolies for? We cuss on this fucking show.
Holy, to me, they're Liberty Media wants to be another NASCAR.
Right, exactly, because NASCAR runs 36 races in a season.
And that's exactly what Liberty Media wants to do with this F1.
Right, but the difference between NASCAR and Formula One is NASCAR is only in North America, pretty much in the United States.
Yeah, well,
I mean, they're trying to put together a race in Mexico, and they're trying to get a race in Canada again. We've done it before.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Xfinity Series has gone to both Canada and Mexico. I don't recall the Cup Series, at least the current Cup Series. For the last 20 years since the early 2000s, the only race I remember us doing was back in the 90s, and it wasn't for points. It was just an exhibition race where we took the NASCAR cars over to Japan and race on the short version of the Suzuka circuit.
Yeah.
And Dale Earnhardt Sr. was obviously involved in going there, and so was Junior.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they're talking. I mean, I've heard trying to get the class either in Mexico or Canada, trying to get a road course race in Canada, which, I mean, obviously, if they're going to get one in Canada for a road course, I mean, you're looking at the F1 circuit.
Yeah.
So that ought to be interesting. I mean, Xfinity did it oh gosh, I'm going to say like probably 2010s.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, early 2000s or right from 2010, 2011, 2012, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Xfinity did it. Again, it's kind of like F2, F3. I will watch them here and there, or even like but it's not the W Series no more.
Academy, F1 Academy,
which is the all-female one. If I remember they're on, I'll watch them, or if I'm up, I'll watch them. Otherwise, I will literally watch what I need to. I'll watch F1. Try to watch all practices and quality on F1 over the weekend.
Yeah,
and NASCAR, as far as NASCAR goes, I'll watch the race on Sundays.
Yeah.
And 90% of the time, including this season here, when we watch NASCAR, I've fallen asleep during the races.
Yes. The thing is like you said, there's the distinct difference. F1 is a worldwide sport, literally a worldwide
well, yeah, I mean, they're
sport.
racing. I mean, obviously, they went Bahrain for round 1. Round 2, they went to Saudi Arabia. Now we're going to Australia.
Yeah.
And then after having round 4 is in Japan, and round 5 is in China. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we go back to China. We haven't been there since 2019.
Yeah.
We couldn't go because of 2020. We couldn't go because of COVID.
2021 was the same way
because of COVID, and 2022 is the same thing.
Yeah.
The Chinese would not allow anyone from F1 if they came into their country and had contracted COVID or anything. They wouldn't be allowed to leave. So,
yeah.
Again, it's just one of those things where like, well, okay, but F1 comes in its own bubble.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the things is Liberty was trying to tell China was, hey, no, we'll fly all the teams in. We'll fly all of our drivers in all under one, a couple planes that are only for Formula One.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that way all the F1 people, you know, including stewards and everyone else, you know, FIA people aren't flying commercial into China. They'd be flying privately into China.
Yeah.
So at that point there, you could fly someone out.
Yeah, you could.
But China wouldn't release them from those type of restrictions. So
yeah,
Liberty Media, Formula One had to say, sorry, we're not going to run your race
until you decide to release
it. I mean, obviously 2020 was a different story. We were all, I mean, the whole 2020 season was crazy.
Yeah, it was.
For both NASCAR and for Formula One. 2021, we got back to normal with both series.
Somewhat normal, yeah.
I mean, it got back, but it was a normal. I mean, it was a normal across the world for Formula One.
Oh, yeah, for Formula
One. That's what I'm talking about. We only lost one race that year. And that was, we lost one race. China, we can't get a replacement for it. The other ones we lost, we got replacements for them. 2022 the same way. 2023 was also the same way.
Yeah.
And I mean, matter of fact, we lost 2 races last year due to one because of China and their rules. I mean, it's just their rules. Their rules are their rules. You know, you got to go by their rules. You know, if you're going to run in their country, you got to go by their rules in the country.
Yeah, you do.
And the other one we lost was, I think it was Imola. They're in Italy.
It was because of the flooding.
Because, they had a bad storm come through and it was flooded. And Formula One decided not to screw with their, in other words, take away from first responders and stuff, helping people that needed help, instead of being on a Formula One race.
Yeah.
So it was a good thing. I mean, it was a good reason why we lost it. So this year, right now, we got 24 races scheduled.
Yeah.
Don't mean we're going to run all 24.
Yeah.
I mean, anything can happen. I mean, like I said, we got, after Australia this weekend, and we got round 4 in Japan at Suzuka, and then we returned to China.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, China's not going to hold F1. I mean, hopefully they've lifted some of their restrictions.
Yeah.
Where F1 can come in and do their thing.
Yeah. Yep.
And then after that, I would have to look at the schedule. But so tonight, this morning, this is what we're literally, I mean, obviously it's like 2:00, 2 something in the morning here. Everybody knows we're 3 hours behind East Coast. But we always say everything's by East Coast time is the way we roll. But so at this point, it's like, so the way we're going to run it tonight is we're going to talk about, we're going to go over the Formula One season so far, right?
Yes, we are.
And we're not going to go, I mean, we're trying to remember what we remember from each of the races from Formula One. It's like, they've already been so far out, I can't remember what the hell really happened during the races.
Well,
minus like what happened at Saudi with Carlos Sainz, Ferrari driver. We'll get into that, and then we'll talk about the last race at the Coliseum for the Clash.
Yes.
So we ran our last time at the LA Coliseum for the Clash, which is just a non-points race, opening race, big, nothing big. And then we'll talk about probably the top 5 of the Daytona 500. And the same thing, when we talk about F1, we're just going to talk about the top 5.
Yes.
I mean, F1 is probably easier to go through. There's only 20 drivers, 10 teams. We could go over the whole running order, but don't need to. I mean, we
already know who the bottom feeders are.
Right. I mean, and I was going to say, I mean, the one thing you'll probably hear us do a lot of, and being Americans, we can do this because we don't like the Haas team.
No, we don't.
I mean, and we'll go over, if you watch Drive to Survive on Netflix, you remember, Haas is pretty much Gunther Steiner.
Yeah.
And at the end of the season last year,
he is
roughly like a week or two after the season was ended, they came an announcement from Haas saying that Gunther Steiner was no longer a part of Haas
F1,
because Gunther told Gene, to do something in this sport, you need to build things pretty much to help your aero packages and stuff like this. And Gene pretty much told him no. So Gene's not willing to put money into the team until he sees results. Well, son,
you ain't gonna see results unless you put money in it.
Let me tell you something right here, right? You, as a NASCAR owner, sucked.
Yeah.
Sorry, you sucked. You brought Tony Stewart in and became Stewart Haas Racing, and then your team went to the front.
Yeah.
Okay. So what Gunther was telling you is truthful.
Yeah.
You need to invest some money into your F1 team. You need to build the facilities to test your aero, to do this, to do that. And honestly, at this point, I wish the FIA or Formula One would come up with a new rule by 2026 saying no more friggin'
no more
customer engines. Everyone has to supply their own engine.
Exactly. That would definitely make him have to put money into his team.
Or at least you're not allowed to buy like Haas and Sauber are not allowed to buy
Ferrari engines.
McLaren, McLaren, Williams aren't allowed to buy Mercedes engines.
Yeah, exactly.
And then right now Honda is still supplying engines for Red Bull and AlphaTauri.
It's called RB now.
RB, right? Because it's like Visa Cash App RB Racing.
Yep.
Used to be AlphaTauri, used to be Toro Rosso.
Yeah, it was Toro Rosso, then they changed it to AlphaTauri, now they changed it to RB.
Like Sauber last year they were what?
Last year they were Alfa Romeo. This year they're
actually technically steak.
Yeah.
And not as in steak sandwich or steak that you would eat, but STAKE.
Yeah.
But I've even heard the announcers, Crofty, and then call them Sauber.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm just going to call them Sauber.
Well,
I'm going back to default and calling them Sauber.
Sauber, yeah.
Because that's who they are to me.
Well, yeah.
So anyways, we're going to go over the first two races of the F1 season. We're going to go over them pretty quick. We're going to go over, again, like I said, the class race. We're going to go over the Daytona 500. We'll talk a little bit about the Atlanta race, especially the end. We'll talk about if we can remember anything about Vegas, the Vegas Motor Speedway. I don't remember it.
Me neither.
And then Phoenix. I know I said at the last live thing I did, I was going to watch the YouTube show or the YouTube replay of it. I watched up to probably the first caution, and I was already done with it.
It was boring.
And she watched the last 90 laps of it, but obviously not with sound on because, Sunday she worked, so she used this guy on as something on the TV in the back room.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that, but we're really going to talk about Bristol today.
Yeah, we are.
We're going to talk about what happened. Obviously, the last 2 or 3 years of Bristol have been under dirt in the spring. And then we found out last fall for the Bristol race during the chase for the championship for NASCAR, they put PJ1 on the track. Those of you who've been around a while know what PJ1 does to Kim. It's about like doing tire blankets. She's already. And then yesterday morning, Sunday morning, they put resin on the track.
Yes.
But we'll get into it. We'll talk about what came about it and how I took this race as a longtime fan of watching NASCAR since the early 80s.
Yeah.
You've only been watching NASCAR since what, 2010?
About 2010, yeah.
2010, 2011 in there.
Yeah.
So, and you've definitely only been watching F1 since I think it's 2016.
2016, yeah.
Regularly. I've seen F1 off and on through my years growing up. So I've got a little more knowledge in F1. Right? It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning and the friggin' sirens are going off.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Monday, people. You're supposed to be in bed.
Yeah.
Except for those of us that are up all friggin' night.
Yeah.
Up all night. Sleep all day.
Yeah.
Anyways. Well, Kim, what do you think? Should we get into this? By the way, as I said, welcome to the 2024 season. Right now, as far as this goes, it will be underused and abused until either one, we can decide upon a name.
Yep.
For our racing show. Or whatnot. Otherwise, it'll stay underused and abused. If it stays underused and abused, eventually there will be an intro that will be related to the racing, so you know what's coming up.
Yes.
I know not everybody's going to watch this. I know all of you that subscribe to us are not all fans of sports,
Yeah.
And it's no big deal, We love our racing.
Yes,
just like we love our NFL football.
Yes, we do.
I like Major League Baseball, but
it's too long.
As far as baseball goes, it don't become interesting to me until August, September.
Because
just before the playoffs start.
Yeah.
Or right as this playoff, as we're making that final push to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Playoffs. And then obviously we got March Madness getting ready to start up. Right?
Yeah, we do.
And again, we're not gonna this is just a racing show. We're not gonna talk about these other sports.
No, we're not. It's gonna strictly be racing. Did you make you another one?
Make me another what?
Drink.
That's the one I made like an hour ago.
Oh.
When you saw me carry out.
Oh, okay.
You came out here, we're getting ready to go.
Okay. I don't yeah.
Not paying attention. That is Kimberly. How about Kim?
Please get your shit together.
There we go. Get your shit together, Kim. Please get your shit together.
Yeah.
All righty. Let's talk about Bahrain. Round 1 of the Formula 1 season. Fortunately, I got to take my glasses off because I'm still looking at my phone. This race was held. I don't even have the dates on it.
This race was actually.
Hold on, I'll back it out real quick. March 2nd was a race.
Mm-hmm.
FP1 happened on February 29th. FP2 happened on February 29th, and then FP3 and qualifying happened on March 1st. So the race was March 2nd, 2024. This is the Bahrain circuit. Quick little track. Fun little track. We're just going to talk about, I guess we can go over the top 10 with Formula 1 because it's Formula 1 and there's only 20 drivers total anyways. 2 cars per team, right? So we'll start with 10th. Finishing 10th was Lance Stroll.
Then Alonso.
Then Fernando Alonso, both with Aston Martin.
Yes. And then Oscar
Piastri driving for McLaren finished 8th.
Hamilton for Mercedes finished 7th.
How about say Lewis Hamilton for all our new fans?
Lewis Hamilton driving for Mercedes,
right?
7th. Lando Norris, McLaren ended up 6th. George Russell, Mercedes ended up 5th. Charles Leclerc ended up 4th, Ferrari. Carlos Sainz, Ferrari.
Well, okay, hold it. When you get to 3rd place, you get on the podium.
Yes, this is the podium finishes now. Carlos Sainz, 3rd, who drives for Ferrari. Sergio Perez, or as most of us fans know him as Checo. Finished 2nd. And then, of course,
Kim's favorite driver. Y'all know this because those of you that watched this show back when we did it before, you all heard her say she's a Max Verstappen fan. And Max literally starts the season off where he finished last season in Abu Dhabi with a 1st place finish, and Red Bull finishing 1 and 2. Obviously starting to already lead the Drivers' Championship for Max, and for the team Red Bull to be leading the Constructors' title.
Okay, I have something to say about this.
Oh, you got something to say about Red Bull?
Yes, I do.
So here we go. We're seeing her gloat about Red Bull, like she always gloats about her damn. She used to gloat about her damn Patriots.
No. Everybody knows I'm a Red Bull fan and a Max Verstappen fan. However, everybody also knows I complained about Mercedes stinking the show up. Now Red Bull's doing the same damn thing, and I don't like it.
Oh God! And the worst part is, I mean, real quick. I'm just gonna point this out. This is how bad, this is how bad Max is actually sneaking up the show.
Yeah.
Perez was 22.4 seconds back behind Max.
And it's just...
And Carlos Sainz in 3rd was 25.1 seconds behind Sergio.
Yeah, it's like, come on, teams, get your shit together and figure...
Oh, you said it.
Please get your shit together.
And figure out what the fuck is wrong with your cars. And let's start making these races a competition.
All right. So we missed, obviously, we weren't talking during, I think we talked about it when Red Bull got in trouble.
Yes.
For going over the
cost cap.
Which for Americans, it would be salary caps in NBA, NHL, NFL, or MLB, Major League Baseball. Salary cap. We all know what salary cap is. That's pretty much what a cost cap is for Formula 1.
Yeah.
You're only allowed to spend X amount of money in a given year.
Yeah.
Now, the difference is I don't know what the penalties are. I mean, one, I don't think I ever remember any NFL, MLB, NBA, or NHL teams ever going over the salary cap.
Yeah.
So I had no idea what those penalties would be in the NFL or any other sport here in America.
Yeah.
But in F1, it depends on how far you went over.
Yes.
You get a monetary fine.
Yes.
You lose a little wind tunnel time.
That didn't even bother
Here's
him.
my thing, right? So I was in this went over the 20. You guys remember the 2021 season? We had the debacle with
Abu Dhabi with Lewis and
we had
Max.
right, but the debacle was with Mass. He's a race director who all of a sudden with one lap to go made his decisions the way he did, and the race went back green. Max passed Lewis, got his first championship. Pissed a lot of people off. Obviously, Maskey lost his job over this.
Yes, he did.
He was no longer a race director. Then they started bringing in multiple race directors for the 2022 season. Like,
yeah, they couldn't figure out who they wanted.
It was a race director by committee, pretty much, is the way I looked at it.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty much still the same thing last year and this year.
Yeah.
It's race director by committee.
Yeah.
I'd rather have one person because then, it's just like the stewards really should be the same stewards going track to track to track to track. That way, you're getting stewards who are consistent.
Yeah.
It's just like, we all, I mean, again, I know most people we're talking to here are in the United States. During the season last year, the NFL, everyone here in America was bitching about the inconsistencies with the NFL officiating from the NFL referees.
Well, F1 isn't any better.
That is what we got with the FIA and the stewards.
Yeah.
One set of stewards will call a race fucking tight as fuck.
And the others will call it
and then the next one is like loose as fuck.
Yeah. It's like if the FIA was smart, they would hire the stewards. It would be a job for the whole season and they would travel.
Here's my thinking on this is what really needs to happen. Okay. And I'm going to take a page out of NASCAR and out of IndyCar of this is NASCAR supplies its own race director. The NASCAR race director is assigned or is an employee of NASCAR.
Yeah.
It's not some secondary outfit like in Formula One. It's you get the Formula One body and then you got the FIA who makes all the rules.
Yeah.
That's not the way it goes. That's not the way it is with NASCAR, IndyCar. IndyCar has their stewards and their people, just like NASCAR has their committee. They call them a committee. And so when we hear the races under review for NASCAR or the restarts under review, it's going to a committee to decide whether pretty much going to the stewards to make a decision whether or not this guy did this or didn't do that. I mean, it's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
But in Formula One, depending on where they're at in the calendar, the race stewards are not the same every race.
No, they're not.
So again, you get race. I mean, and again, you got to remember, rules are written, but it's also by human interpretation.
Well, yeah, and it shouldn't be. It should.
No, I mean, it's the same thing you got in the NFL, MLB, NHL, NBA. Rules are written, and even any referee is still going to be how a human interprets that rule.
Yeah, I understand that,
but there's always going to be the human element of referees. Otherwise, you might as well just bring in AI now and say, "Here you go."
Well, yeah, I understand that.
Again, I'll revert back to the NFL. They might as well just fire all the referees and let either New York handle just replay every damn thing because what's going to happen every play now. Now you're going to have holding every play against the offensive line. You're going to have there's holding every play.
Well, yeah, there is.
People say there isn't. They're full of shit.
There is.
But the same thing with the same thing with stewards. I mean, if you don't want the human element of it being called that way, then you get rid of it. You let AI, again, you put sensors in the track to handle all the what am I looking for?
Timing.
Yeah, but you have to go way off track. What the hell they call that?
Penalty? No. Track limits.
Track limits. Breaking track limits.
Yeah.
You got to put sensors all over the track, not just in certain little spots you want to or penalize on.
Yeah.
You put sensors. I mean, again, and it's not really that hard. All you got to just sit there and say is the white line is the edge of the track.
All the way around, and not just in corner 11 and corner 14 and corner 20.
That's part of the problem with the stewards is FP1, FP2. They run it one way, then they have a driver's meeting before FP3, then they race director says, okay, we're now going to enforce turn 24.
Yeah.
And now the guys have already been used to going out wide on this turn 24 because they didn't get nothing on the day before.
Yeah.
And now they're being, again, we see times being deleted all the time in FP3 and in quality.
Well, yeah, and
then come race it, they have the other drivers mean, okay, we've now added these corners. Like, no, set your corners
before even practice.
And that's why I say make it to the white line. The start of the weekend, it's white line. White line is your out of bounds.
Yeah.
You play. I mean, again, you play American football. You play football, or soccer. You got NBA basketball. Major League Baseball. They're out of bounds. The foul lines.
Yeah.
Anything that has a foul. In hockey, I guess it'd be if the puck goes over the boards. I guess it's out of bounds. But the only out of bounds I know they have. I mean,
yeah.
I know there's like rules about where they touch it at certain spots. They can't, like, if the puck was flying down, players can't be on certain, it's the same thing like soccer, but there's also the out of bound line, the field of play for soccer.
Yeah.
Just like there is in football. And I say soccer because I'm American. But again, I know you guys call it football.
Yeah.
But, and again, we got American football, which is our, American football, NFL, NCAA. But they all have out of bounds.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? So do racetracks.
Yeah.
NASCAR racetracks, they're out of bounds. The goddamn wall.
Yeah, it is.
They're out of bounds on the inside corner is a fucking line. Or
unless you're on the Daytona track and then it's the yellow line.
Well, okay, but it's still a line.
Yeah.
It's a double yellow line at Daytona, Atlanta, and Talladega.
Yeah.
But here's my thing is, okay, make that your out of bounds every fucking race.
Yeah.
Start of the weekend.
Yeah.
FP1 all the way through the race.
And you should have all these son of a bitchin' boundaries set before you even attempt to begin the weekend.
Right.
You've been to these tracks before. You
right.
know what these tracks are like. Set your fucking boundaries.
Right. And that's up to the stewards and FI is put their foot down and say, hey, we're going to call this. I don't give a shit where you're at on the track. If you go all four tires over the white line, you are out with track limits.
Yeah, and
we're gonna call it.
Yeah, and that's that's from white line to white line on the track.
Yeah, I get
it's not corner 24, corner
right.
30, corner 50.
Right, but I don't think we have a corner 50.
I don't think we do either.
I don't think there's a track that has 50 corners. I mean, maybe the full track of Nürburgring, but F1 don't run that.
No, they were on the short track.
I would love for them to run it again. But anyways, God damn it, now you made me forget what the hell I was going to say. Like corner 50. Like, really, Kim? Really, Kim?
Yeah.
Corner 50. Anyways, there's an out of bounds. Use the out of bounds. It's white fucking line.
White line to white line.
All I know I was going to say is there's a lot of fans that say, well, yeah, but if you go out of bounds in this spot, it's really not gaining an event. I get it. You're right. There are a lot of corners where, yeah, if you go out wide, you're not gaining an advantage. But guess what? It's still out of bounds.
Exactly. And if you're out of bounds, all four tires over that fucking white line, your lap time's deleted.
Like I said, street courses, street circuits for F1, for Formula One, are just like NASCAR with their outside or their walls.
Yeah.
The only difference is the street circuits are both sides of the car.
Yeah.
If you cut a corner too much, you're going to hit the fucking wall.
Yeah, you are.
If you go too far out wide, you're going to hit a wall.
Yeah, you are.
Where NASCAR, if you go out too far wide, you're going to hit a wall.
Yeah.
You're going to hit something that's going to hopefully screw your race car up.
Yeah.
And obviously NASCAR a little different because it's not open wheel like Formula One is.
Yeah.
Anyways. So, wow, we can see one thing is returned that has not left us. Our tangents.
Oh, I know.
We love to go on these tangents, don't we?
Yes, we do.
All right. Anyways, so that's Bahrain. Max stepping up, they're doing it again, keeping it up, leading the championship, and also Sergio coming in second, which is something Red Bull has needed.
Yes.
Because pretty much they won the championship last year, the constructor title, which is Max.
Yes.
I mean, Sergio had a few races here and there, but I mean, Max provided all the fucking points.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
All right. Then we had Saudi Arabia.
Yes. And
that was held over the weekend.
That was last weekend.
Right. March 9th was the race. We had March 7th for FP1, FP2, March 8th for practice 3 and qualifying. And again, the race was on March 9th.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to the results on this one. Kim really, she just wanted to take it also. I guess we'll let her take it all again because, I mean,
Okay.
I thought we might go back and forth or something, but nope. She's like, I'm just going to do it all. By the way, we never discuss what the hell we're going to do on these shows. We just do it.
We just do it. Okay. At position number 10, driving for Haas,
Nico Hulkenberg.
Okay, it is Nico. 9th, Lewis Hamilton driving for Mercedes. 8th, Lando Norris driving for McLaren. Okay, at this race, this is where Sainz had appendicitis and was actually rushed to the hospital to remove the appendix. So they brought an F2 driver up.
Let's talk about this real quick. Since we're there at Ollie Berman racing for Ferrari, rookie driver in F1, finishing 7th after qualifying 11th.
Yeah.
He got in the car for FP3 on Saturday.
Yes, he did.
He got probably roughly 40 minutes of car time, hardly any time on the reds or the soft tires. And then waited 2 hours and had to come out and qualified, got into round 2, qualified 11th, which, man, I thought, in my opinion, was a great freaking start for him. And then finished race P7, which, again, is a great day for him as a rookie.
Yes. And that is...
So Friday during FP1 and FP2, Sainz was already complaining of being ill.
Yeah.
Throughout the night, he ended up going to a hospital or something, or a team doctor or something. I didn't read all the stuff up on it to find out exactly how they figured it out. Anyways, he ended up having to go to the hospital, and he has appendicitis, so he had to have surgery again. And this is the second time. He put a tweet up. He put Carlos Sainz 2, appendicitis 0. There was he beat appendicitis twice.
Oh wow.
Anyways, well, now Ferrari had to figure out what to do. Now Ollie Berman's running F2 Formula 2, the feeder series, which is like our Xfinity series in the NASCAR, or the NXT IndyCar series.
Yeah.
Again, it's a feeder series for the main deal. And he put his car on pole position.
Yeah, he did.
On Friday.
Yeah, and was
for FP2. And now all of a sudden he can't, he's going to run for Ferrari. So now his team has to pull his car out of FP2.
Yeah.
Or out of F2. And he is no longer going to have pole.
Nope.
He can't run the race because he's running Formula 1 now.
Yeah.
Which is a big difference than NASCAR.
Yeah.
Because NASCAR be like, okay, you can run Cup and Xfinity.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have we see Cup drivers go back to Xfinity or Cup, the Truck Series?
More than.
I mean, they only can do it like 5 times a year now, which is a far cry from what they used to be able to do.
Yeah, they used to be able to do it every weekend.
Right. But now they're only like 5 times or something like that, 5 per series, I think it is. I think that's what the rule is, where it's just 5 total. I don't remember. I'd have to look that up, and maybe I will be for our next show.
Yeah, because
racing, but the next racing show.
Yeah, because there's also some restrictions on what weekends they can drive and what weekends they cannot drive.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Anyways, so he jumps in the car, like I said, runs FP3. There was a red flag during FP3. I can't remember why there was a red flag. I just remember it was a red flag. And by the time they got that out, there was like 5 minutes left to go in FP2 or FP3, where they came out of reds, and that was the only reds he ran that whole FP free practice 3.
Yeah.
He ran mediums the whole earlier.
Yeah.
So he really didn't get a feel for the car on reds or on the soft tires.
No, he didn't.
So again, now we go to the race, or to qualifying. He qualifies P11, which is a great start for him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then we get in the race, he finishes P7. So anyways, Carlos Sainz ended up with appendicitis. Not heard anything yet. Obviously, we're coming up to the race weekend this weekend, but people are talking. I mean, Williams driver had the same thing. Not what Albon.
Albon, yeah, it's going. It's not Logan. It's the other one.
Yeah, it's God damn, what's his first? Alexander Albon.
Alex Albon.
Yeah, he had appendicitis last year, I think 2023 or 2022.
Yeah.
2023, I think it was. And he had to miss. He didn't miss in like it was out for 13 days.
Yeah.
And he came back and drove.
Yeah.
I mean, Carlos was at the track during the race.
Yeah, he was.
They showed him. And when they showed him walking, he was definitely walking very gingerly.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so right now we don't know if it's going to be Ollie Berman or Carlos Sainz in the race for Australia.
Yeah.
Which is, again, this coming weekend.
Yeah.
So this is Monday, Friday, middle of the night for those of us here in the States.
Yeah.
Will be FP3 on, I think it's on Friday. I'll find out here in a minute. Anyways, Kim, let's go ahead and finish. We're at P7 with Ferrari with Ollie Berman.
P6 for Mercedes, George Russell. Fifth for Aston Martin, Fernando Alonso. Fourth.
The old man's still doing it.
Yep. Fourth for McLaren, Oscar Piastri. Third for Ferrari, Charles Leclerc. Again, P2.
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 So second place. By the way, we're on the podium now.
Yeah, we're on the podium.
Leclerc, just remember the podium is 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
So when she says third place, that's the driver on the podium.
Yeah, starting with Leclerc was third place, which is one driver on the podium.
Right, he drives for
Ferrari. The second driver on the podium, no surprise, is Checo Perez driving for Red Bull, and lo and behold,
I wonder who could be first place.
Max Verstappen for Red Bull, but at least it was only a 13-second. He was only like 13 seconds ahead of Checo.
Okay, that's what the final tally says. Technically, he was only 8 seconds ahead of Checo, but Checo had a 5-second penalty. For
unsafe
release in the pit lane during one of the safety car periods.
Yeah.
And so they didn't serve it, so it automatically gets added to your end of race total. That's why Checo was 13 seconds back. Otherwise, Checo at Saudi was actually 8 seconds back of Max.
Which is a far cry from about 31 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
From Bahrain. But
no, it was like 25 or something like that.
But still, Red Bull stinking up the show this year again.
So since we didn't really have a time to talk about this, let's talk about silly season.
Oh yeah.
So normally silly season, you don't start talking about silly season until
summer break, which is usually in August.
Right. You don't talk about silly, and what silly season is drivers finding new cars to drive for or no longer be carried by a team, and they're gonna bring a new driver up from F2 up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Usually the current champion of F2 gets brought up.
Yeah.
No, we opened the season before
practice.
The practice at Bahrain.
Actually, it was just before testing.
Well, that's what I meant. Practice testing. We're like testing at Bahrain.
Right.
We tested the week before the race at Bahrain. We had they had to do a testing where they test the cars, not completely under full power.
No,
we know that because Red Bull, sure in hell, it didn't look like Red Bull was that far ahead of these teams, and all of a sudden we get to the first Bahrain race. But never mind. I mean, Red Bull is sandbagging even that whole FP1, FP2.
They usually do.
And FP3. And even in quality, in my opinion, they sandbagged it.
They do. They only do enough.
Like they were easily caught. And then all of a sudden they go in the race and, yep, goodbye.
Yeah.
But, so what happened, Kim?
Lewis Hamilton announced.
Well, okay. Yeah, we got a double announcement here. I mean, it's kind of interesting because Carlos Sainz is in his final season with Ferrari now.
Yes, and we couldn't figure out why.
Yeah, like how you guys not re-signing Carlos? Carlos is in 2023. I felt Carlos finished better than Charles did in most races.
Yeah. So then we get another announcement. Oh, by the way, Lewis Hamilton is leaving Mercedes and going to drive for Ferrari.
That is a shock and a half.
Yeah.
So my running theory on this is Lewis went to Toto, and Toto showed him what they had coming up for 2024 and what their 2025 car was going to look like, because obviously regulations all change in 2026
again,
including engine regulations. So things are going to change in 2026. So he showed him what was going to happen in 2024, which was the current season we're in, and in 2025. And I would assume Lewis didn't like what he saw, realized that Mercedes was not going to be near the top of Red Bull.
No.
So at the same time, Lewis has got a good relationship with Fred Vasseur, the current
team principal
of Ferrari, because Lewis actually worked with Fred back in like F2 or F3 back in early days, before he moved to Formula One. And I'm assuming Fred's like, hey, Lewis, this is where we're going to be at 2024. And we should, and I almost guarantee it. He's like, and we're going to be neck and neck with Red Bull in 2025, if not above them.
Yeah.
And Lewis going, well, shit, I want to win the 8th title.
Yeah.
He's done with, thinking about 2021 over anymore. I want to win that 8th title. And I've always wanted to drive for, again, if you grow up loving F1, especially over in the European nations or over in those nations that have F1, the team you always want to drive for is Ferrari. It's, like here for the longest time, NASCAR, it was, Petty Enterprises, Rich Petty. It was the Wood Brothers. It was Junior Johnson. Those were the big ones in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
When you heard those names, those were car winners, car winning owners. And then in the late or mid to late, 80s and up, you had Childress.
Yeah.
90s, or in the 80s, Rick Hendrick came in.
Yeah.
And then in the 90s, Joe Gibbs came in. And now today, and Penske obviously was already in there, and Roush was already in there.
Yeah.
And so when you think of today, like the top NASCAR teams are Hendrick, Gibbs, Penske, I'm going to say Roush next, and then Stewart-Haas Racing.
Yeah.
Those are your top ones. Obviously, Petty Enterprise is no longer there, and neither the Wood Brothers.
No.
But they're still running.
They are.
Petty Enterprise is now known as Legacy Motorsports.
Yeah, because
Jimmy Johnson bought the team.
Yeah, I did.
Anyways, so again, when it comes to Formula One, it's Ferrari.
It is.
It's not. Lewis drove for McLaren.
Yes,
he left
did.
McLaren to go to Mercedes, and when he did that jump, here's the thing: is last time Lewis left the team to go to another team, he left McLaren, went to Mercedes, and Mercedes went on fire for 8 straight years.
Yes, they did. They did
8 straight 8 straight friggin'
constructors champions,
and Lewis won 6 of his. He won one driver's championship with McLaren, and his other 6 came with Mercedes.
Yep.
So Mercedes. Lewis is making this jump to Ferrari, which tells me Lewis feels in his heart Ferrari is going to be a contender against Red Bull.
Yeah.
In 2025, because that's when it happens. Yeah. And this is the earliest. Even in NASCAR, we don't get silly season like this.
No.
So now, of course, who's going to take over the seat to be next to George Russell at Merck? We don't know.
Rumors are flying that it might be Carlos. Rumors are flying that it might be Lando.
The good thing is, like, Mercedes don't have to worry about naming the right way, because we're getting ready to go to our 3rd race of this season.
Yeah.
Out of 24.
Yeah, they've got a lot of time.
They got, when is the last race? Let's go back to the schedule. Upcoming. The last race in Abu Dhabi, round 24, is December 6th through the 8th, which means the last race is December 8th.
Yeah.
By then, that's when they're going to want to make and they probably might even make the decision until 1 or 2 weeks into either closer to Christmas, or maybe not even make that announcement until the first week of regular business in the new year.
Yeah, exactly.
In 2025.
Exactly.
Again, Mercedes don't need to make that announcement. Believe me, hear me out for a minute. We, the fans, may not know.
But Mercedes already does.
But Merck will know before they get to Abu Dhabi who the hell they've already probably offered a contract to.
Yeah.
They probably already have that person already signed up, ready to rock.
Yeah.
Again, Kim saying, it could be Carlos Sainz. Well, it could also be Mick Schumacher.
Yeah,
because Mick is their reserve driver right now.
Yeah.
Mick got kicked out of Haas because they decided to bring Nico Hulkenberg over, back and bring Kevin Magnussen back after they fired Magnussen when Grosjean and him got fired for 2 rookies. Then they fired the 2 rookies. Well, 1 rookie for a different reason because of Ukraine, because his daddy was part of his upper management.
We won't even go there.
Upper in the Russian world.
Yeah, we won't even go there.
But they kicked out Schumacher.
Yeah.
Or no, they let Schumacher run 1 more season behind with Magnussen being there. And then they kicked him out, brought Nico in.
Yeah.
And then Merck was like, well, screw you. We're going to grab
Mick.
We're going to grab Mick because the thing is Mick was actually, at that point when he was with Haas, he was actually still under contract with Ferrari.
Yeah, he was.
But Ferrari's like, well, we got no room for you because, we got Charles Leclerc and we got Carlos Sainz. And then they got Ollie Berman coming up. I mean, they got all these guys that are tied with Ferrari coming up in F2 and F3 that, we don't, sorry.
We don't need
Mick,
you.
We don't need you. Which is kind of a kick in the balls because when it comes down to it, when you think about it, one person, I mean, we talk about Dell Jr. in NASCAR, he got his he got his drive because a lot of people say he got his drive because of his daddy. Right? Well, if that's the case, then I'm sorry, Mick Schumacher deserves that fucking Ferrari seat.
Yeah, he does.
Because of his daddy.
Yeah.
His daddy is Michael fucking Schumacher, who won a lot of fucking races and world championships with Ferrari.
Yeah.
But instead, he is reserve driver for Mercedes.
Yeah, he is.
So does Mercedes bring him in for, because again, my thing is this, and this is what, and Kim can give her opinion here in just a second. My thing is if you got a new car, new car design, and also new engine program coming in 2026, the year 2026, why would you put a brand new driver in a 2025 or in the current car in 2025 when you could put Mick Schumacher in there for a year, who's used to running the simulator?
Yeah.
Well, he's one of the ones who runs the simulator for Mercedes, runs all different programs, all this different stuff, so they can try to get the cars the best they can at the track.
Yeah.
Why would you not just give him the seat for 2025?
Yeah.
And then decide you're going to keep him on into 2026?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Anyways, you got any opinion about Lewis going to Ferrari and the fact that who you think might be jumping in that seat for Merck? So me personally, I guess I'll say I think Mick Schumacher will be your driver with George Russell.
Well,
that's my opinion.
My opinion is this. If Mercedes wants to build the team of the future, then yes, put Mick in that seat because him and George are the team of the future. They're younger and they're the ones that's going to carry that team into the next, who knows, next century, next 10 years.
Okay, but let me play
devil.
Go ahead.
But on Carlos Sainz's side, Carlos Sainz has the talent and he would also work too because he would know, he's also pretty young and he would also be a good choice to bring the team into the future. But
right. And you're talking, Carlos is obviously Carlos Sainz Jr. He's a junior because his dad was, a senior. But honestly, here's my thing, right? Is if you're talking about the future, right? So I'm saying bring Mick in for one season because he's ran all the simulator stuff. Probably even driven the car at some point.
Yeah.
Early in the season, somewhere. He's driven the car somewhere. Would you be looking as that is your future, or would you be looking at who you got coming out of F2, or even because again, we know Merck is tied in with hotly tied into Williams. Would they be maybe thinking the future is Albon and Russell? It won't be Logan Sargent. I think Logan Sargent. This is Logan Sargent's last year in F1. I think Williams will let go of Logan Sargent, who's an American, by the way, at the end of the season. He don't have it.
No.
Logan Sargent will be running IndyCar or NASCAR in 2025 or 2026.
Oh.
Depending on what he wants to do. He will not be running F1 in 2025. I mark my words. I will say it now. He is done this season. Logan Sargent does not get past this season. And I almost think Logan Sargent doesn't make the full season.
Well,
he'll get the race. He'll get the race Miami because it's early enough in the season.
Well, the thing is okay.
I'm wondering, my opinion is, I don't even know if he'll make Austin.
Well, the thing is
unless he improves.
The thing is James, who is the team principal?
Oh gosh, I know who you're talking about.
Anyway, the team principal Williams. We'll get the name later.
He used to be a guy from Mercedes.
Yeah, we'll get his name later.
James Allison, or I don't know. My brain's
James.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Anyway, the thing is the only reason I'm going to like a quarter disagree with you is because that principal had said that Logan Sargent was in it for the long haul and knew where he wanted to be. And so, okay, so if he's in it for the long haul, the principal's in it for the long haul, they want to bring the team back to the championship team it once was, then you've got to go ahead and play. You got to go ahead and say, okay, what would be the best one? Do we want to keep him? Do we want to go down and try and get a driver out of our feeder series, this driving for our academy that might take his place? It's like
James Vowles.
Yeah, James Vowles. But it's like,
I had to look it up.
Yeah. But it's like, okay, so where do you go from here?
All right.
You have told everybody that you're not thinking of letting go Sargent, but yet Sargent hasn't really done shit for your team.
All right, so let's look. We're going to talk about Sargent, where he finished in Bahrain, 20th, 2 laps down. He was the only car 2 laps down. Finished dead last, 2 laps down. While his teammate, maybe make sure I got it right, Albon finished 15th, 1 lap down. Remind you, when you're in a team that doesn't score points, you're only rated against your fellow driver on the team, your teammate. If you're beating your teammate, you're going to keep the job. If you're not beating your teammate, again, James Vowles last year stuck his neck out pretty much for Logan Sargent.
Yeah.
But I don't see him continue to do that in this year. I think the minute if Logan continues this thing, of course, we had 2 DNFs at Saudi. One was Gasly, and then the other was Stroll. But out of the finishers, so finishers started P18. Sargent finished 14th, while Albon finished 11th on the lead lap. So again, is Sargent doing enough? I mean, right now, and again, we're only 2 races into the season. I'm saying by summer break, and he usually don't even do it then. I mean, he probably will make Austin in Williams. But by then, they're going to want to bring somebody in to, either bring somebody up from F2. Again, that'll be up to the Mercedes. Merck will decide, maybe Merck decides, hey, we are going to go with Mick Schumacher, but we want to get him some races. So let's get rid of Sargent and put Mick down in Williams so he can get back up to speed and being in races. They've done that before.
Yeah, they have.
I mean, they did. I mean, look at George Russell. He came from Williams and replaced Valtteri Bottas.
Yeah, he did.
At Merck, And I mean, I'm sorry, but since his first season, second is he's like third or fourth season now with Mercedes, he's beat Lewis.
Yeah, he has.
Lewis is always behind him.
Yeah, I know he is.
You mentioned it when you gave the readouts. Both times, Saudi and in Bahrain, Lewis was 1 or 2 places behind George.
George, yeah.
So, again, eventually you're gonna have another moment. I mean, I like the kid. I like Logan Sargent. One, because he is an American, but he just don't have it. He don't have that hunger. Now, a guy that does have the hunger, I don't remember what Formula 1 team he's hooked up with in F2 is Enzo Fittipaldi. Now, of course, Enzo is running under the Brazilian flag, but he's also American Brazilian.
Yeah.
So technically, if he got moved up to F1, he would also, I mean, it'd be like still having American because he was born here and grew up here, but he has a dual citizenship.
Yeah, he does.
And he's running right now under the Brazilian flag.
Yeah.
And there's also, I don't remember their names, but there's also 2 other drivers down in F2 that are Americans, I believe, also.
Mm-hmm.
Not running very high up, but there are 2 Americans down there. And I know in the F1 Academy series, there's at least 1 American in there, a female racer.
Yeah.
So again, we've got some Americans who are coming up.
Yeah, we do.
Again, why the hell? Here's my thing. You heard me say it, we bitched about it earlier about Haas. Well, why the hell is Haas not hiring American drivers?
I can never figure that out.
I mean, first of all, I understand you're in bed with Ferrari for an engine. I understand Ferrari probably has 1 seat you're allowed to do. That they say you have to fill this seat with this person, but you get the other seat. Why did you not fill that seat with an American? You're an American goddamn team.
Yeah, but yet there were some teams that bitched and moaned. No, we don't want Andretti in there. We don't want another American team.
Okay, Kim. We will save that for like where we had nothing to talk about on a race weekend. I don't want to go down there and Andretti rabbit hole. That was something that happened during the early part of the season here, especially around just before testing, I think it was. And again, we could go down that rabbit hole and we'll be here for another 2 hours.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like
you're saying, I'm also saying too, but I mean, let's not go down the Andretti, because right now Andretti's got a lot on his plate right now because he's literally busting Roger Penske's balls over in Indy.
Yeah.
So Andretti's right now looking to fight with anybody right now, I think. Michael Andretti is.
Yeah.
He decided not to take the fight completely to F1 yet, but he's now fighting with Roger Penske.
Yeah.
Over at IndyCar. And again, I've not kept up with all the stuff going on with IndyCar right now.
No, we haven't.
Again, I only watch 1 IndyCar race a year, and that's the Indianapolis 500.
Yeah.
It's the only race I watch. I don't care about the rest of the Indy racing season.
Yeah.
Mainly because they're on about the same time NASCAR is. And it's like, oh God.
Yeah.
I mean, trying to watch, you can't watch 2 races at once. So you have to DVR one, watch one live, and watch the other one right after it or something.
Yeah.
But and I don't have interest to really watch IndyCar that much. I'll watch it for the Indianapolis 500, usually on Memorial Day weekend, because it'll start off, we'll watch Monaco, or I'll watch Monaco Grand Prix, turn around, watch the Indianapolis 500, and then finish off with the Coca-Cola 600.
Yeah.
That is my big day of racing, where I will watch every race live.
Yeah.
Early in the morning until late at night, because Coke 600 runs until late at night on the East.
Yeah.
Anyways, you got anything else to say about Lewis going to Merck? Or I guess in your opinion, so you're thinking Carlos Sainz will be the replacement for Lewis?
It's a high possibility, yes.
Is that who you believe will be taking his position?
I believe it is.
I'm just asking for again, like I said, it's going to be Mick Schumacher again. This is our opinion.
Yes.
We've got no ins or outs with fucking Merck.
No, we don't.
To know what the hell is really going on. Because one, they wouldn't let her in because she's a goddamn Red Bull fan.
Oh no, they would definitely kick me out of their paddock.
and technically, they'd probably kick me out of their paddock because I love Ferrari. I always love Ferrari.
Yeah.
And so again, and believe me, hearing Lewis is now going to drive for Ferrari.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I'm like, oh hell yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, Charles and Lewis. I mean, Charles can learn a lot from Lewis, and hopefully it's enough to help Charles grow better as a driver too.
Yeah.
That's the main key, hopefully it helps Charles grow too. Anyways.
Yeah.
All right. So we get into NASCAR.
Yes, let's.
The NASCAR 2024 Cup Series.
Yes, let's.
All right. Now, the 2024 Cup Series.
Yes.
Started off
with the Daytona 500.
February 4th at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum for the Clash. For the final time, we will not return to Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum next year for the Clash.
They don't even need to relocate anywhere but back to Daytona.
I agree. Take it back to Daytona. Let's just run and take it back to Daytona, and it's only pole winners get the race in it.
Exactly.
Pole winners and previous Clash winners There's your friggin' and in a previous, I think it's previous class winners to a certain year point, and also previous cup champion, the previous year's cup champion, and somebody like 5 years back or something.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that should be in it. Those are the only ones that should be allowed in it.
Yeah.
That is what the class has always been. It was a pole race.
Yeah.
You know, you won the Bush Pole Award. You knew you punched your ticket to the class at Daytona, which always started with speed weeks. The problem is right now NASCAR
is trying to pull.
No, hold on. NASCAR, because if it starts speed weeks, you go the first weekend the Clash, next weekend is Daytona 500 with the duels and are qualifying in the duels in between during the week. The problem is now NASCAR is right there with, you know, like this year we ran February 4th the Clash, the next week was the Super Bowl, and then the next week was the Super Bowl of auto racing, which was the Daytona 500.
Yeah.
So NASCAR got to figure out where they want to start the season at, and can we start right after the Super Bowl? I mean, you don't have to worry about the Pro Bowl no more because the Pro Bowl is played the week before the Super Bowl now.
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
Let's get rid of the fucking Pro Bowl because they think it's fucking stupid.
It's not even the Pro Bowl anymore. It's called Pro Skills.
Well, I understand that, but I'm just like, the Pro Bowl's a joke. Major League Baseball's all-star games are jokes. Get rid of all-star games are worthless. They have no meaning. I mean, I know baseball made it, whoever wins the all-star game gets to have home field advantage. That league gets to have a whole home field advantage. Well, that's bullshit, because the way it used to be was whoever had the best record out of the two teams in the team in the American League and the team out of the National League, whoever had the best record, the one with the best record had their home field advantage.
Yeah.
They got to play 4 home games versus 3 in a 7-game series.
Yeah. It should go back to that.
We need to go back to that. The MLB All-Star game doesn't mean shit. Get rid of it. I mean, it's just like NASCAR's All-Star race coming up. I mean, yeah. But then again, I guess you could say the same thing about the Clash. You can get rid of it. It's not needed.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So, I mean, I guess we can get rid of the Clash at the same time. Anyways, so after the Super Bowl, which, yeah, what a game. It was a good game.
Yes, it was.
Good game. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for winning the Super Bowl. You know, whatever. You know, I mean, they're on a dynasty right now. Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce, Cole Hardman, Pacheco. I mean, good God, Andy Reid. God, I mean, that's the team to beat, and they're going to be this generation's Patriots.
Yes, they are.
All right. So February 15th, we had the Daytona 500.
Yes, we did.
At Daytona International Speedway. Supposed to be held on a Sunday. It fucking rained.
Yeah.
So we pushed the race to Monday.
Yes, we did.
Luckily for Monday, it was President's Day or something?
President's Day, yes.
And so all the fans that had tickets for Sunday stayed back one more day, and we actually had a good turnout for a Monday race for once.
Yes.
And the winner of that race was the guy that drives the 45 car, Tyler Reddick.
Yes.
Who drives it's a Toyota, known as 2311. Owners are Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan.
Yep.
Yes, the Michael Jordan. And there's a reason, because the 2311 team is 23 for Michael, 11 for Denny, because Denny's number is 11. And then the 45 car is Michael's baseball number.
Yes.
I also think he also played that in basketball when he came back to basketball.
I think
after
so.
He took a break, went to baseball for a bit.
Yeah.
And then Bubba Wallace, who drives the 23 car, which is definitely Michael's fucking number from the Bulls.
Bulls, yes.
You know, all them Bulls championships, man. The greatest, you know, I mean, the GOAT of the GOAT of NBA.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly. Exactly.
I mean, honestly, he's the last GOAT.
Yeah.
I mean, Kobe was good. Don't get me wrong. R.I.P. Kobe Bryant. But I mean, Curry's okay, I guess.
Yeah.
I not really watched a lot of, you know, but as far as I'm concerned, when the GOAT goes down, you ask me to name a GOAT in NBA, I'm going to tell you it's Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Dr. J. There's your GOATs.
Yeah.
And that's 4, right?
That's 4, yeah.
So there's my Mount Rushmore of the NBA.
Yeah.
There you go. I just gave you my Mount Rushmore of NBA.
Yep.
How about that?
Yes.
That's my Mount Rushmore NBA.
Yep.
You know, so who's not on that list? Nobody from my Trailblazers. I did
No.
not put Clyde Drexler on there. I didn't put Malone or Stockton on there.
Yeah.
You know, again, those are the guys. When I think of the GOATs of the NBA, those are the GOATs.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Again, that's the great thing about, in our opinion, it's in my opinion.
Yeah.
But those are my GOATs. Anyways, I guess you want to go over the top? I guess we can go over top 5 Daytona 500. Chase Elliott finished second. Alex Bowman finished third. Carson Hocevar finished fourth. Eric Jones finished fifth at the Daytona 500. Again, race wasn't, I don't remember. It's just plate racing is all it is.
Yes. Besides the wreck here, wreck there, let's see how many people we can wreck out.
Yeah, what they had one big one?
One big one.
I don't know. It's been so long. Thank God, that was February 15th. That's so long ago. Wait a minute. I'm looking at the wrong ones. My bad. Hold it. I just gave the one qualifying race. My bad. How about this? How about we actually do the Daytona 500 held on Monday? Okay.
Okay.
Does that sound like a better idea?
Yeah.
Here we go. Here's your actual winners of the Daytona. You're actually top 5 of the Daytona 500. And that was held on Monday. I just saw the date.
February 13th.
February 19th. Monday, February 19th.
19th.
Winner, driving for Hendrick Motorsports in the car 24, William Byron.
Yeah, it's going.
Second place for driving for Hendrick Motorsports in the car 48, Alex Bowman.
Yeah.
Third, driving Joe Gibbs Racing in car number 20, Christopher Bell. Fourth, driving number 7 car, Corey LaJoy. I don't remember what team he drives for.
I don't either.
And fifth, driving for 2311, the 23 car, Bubba Wallace.
Yes.
There's your top 5 of the Daytona 500. So, Scott, this is what Scott needs to do.
Please get your shit together.
All right, February 25th, we had Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Which was boring until the last little bit.
Which is on the new reconfigured Atlanta Motor Speedway, which pretty much is another plate track.
Yeah.
Kim felt it was boring all the way till the last part of it. I kind of agree with her. First of all, one of the closest finishes in NASCAR history. That's what made the race great.
Yes.
In my opinion. We had first place, Daniel Suarez. I think he was 0.03 seconds over second place finisher Ryan Blaney in the car 12, driving for Penske. And Kyle Busch was 0.07 seconds back, driving the 8 car for Richard Childress Racing. And I guess, again, that was Kyle Busch. In fourth place, driving for Penske also, Austin Cindric, number 2. And for a second week in a row, finishing 5th, Bubba Wallace.
Yes.
Bubba had a great start to the season.
Yeah, he has.
And I started looking at this, like, wow. All right, let's go to Vegas, March 3rd.
Boring.
Yeah, I watched this race. I'm pretty sure I fell asleep during it.
I know I did.
You couldn't have. You were supposed to be working. Yeah, so I again.
That was one of them that I didn't pay attention to.
Right. All right. Well, finishing first,
boring.
Driving the 5 car for Rick Hendrick Motorsports, Kyle Larson. Second place for 2311, driver of the 45 car, Tyler Reddick.
Yes.
Third place goes to the Penske driver of the 12 car and our current champion from last year, Ryan Blaney. Driving for Trackhouse Racing in the number 1 car, Ross Chastain finished 4th. And driving for Joe Gibbs Racing, driving the Toyota, the grandson of Mr. Gibbs, driving the 54 car, Ty Gibbs, finished 5th.
Yep. Yeah, that was a race that, it's on. Who cares?
Right, exactly. All right, well, let's go to another race that was on because I was sleeping during this whole race. I didn't watch it.
And I forgot about it.
And again, like I said earlier, I watched a little bit of the beginning of it a few days ago after the last live stream I did, talk about, we're going to watch the race and we'll talk about it. Yeah, no, it's Phoenix.
Let's just say it's Phoenix.
A week ago.
It was
boring.
A week
ago Sunday. Right. So winner again, Christopher Bell for Joe Gibbs Racing, the car 20. Coming in second, driving for Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing, driving the Ford number 17, Chris Buescher. Driving for 2311, driving that Toyota, I'm sorry, driving Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, car 54, again, the grandson of Joe Gibbs, Ty Gibbs, finished at third. Finishing fourth in a Ford, driving for Rouse Fenway Keselowski Racing, Brad Keselowski. And your fifth place winner, or fifth place, finishing fifth at Phoenix, the guy that won the championship last year, driving for Penske, the number 12 Ford, Ryan fucking Blaney.
Yeah.
RFB.
Yeah. Can I just say one comment about RFK?
Yeah.
Since they have become RFK in the last 2 years that I've watched it since they added Brad, I've noticed that team has started to prove that they can actually race.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead. We're already bringing an hour into this. Okay. We're going to talk now Bristol.
Oh, hell yeah.
Bristol, baby. And this is the Fuji City 500. It was just ran yesterday on Sunday. 500 laps or 266.5 miles. And god damn.
It was a race. It was the best race of the season so far.
I don't think I would have to look again. I don't think there was too many DNFs.
No, there wasn't. There's only, I think, one out.
Even Bristol, obviously the last 2 or 3 years we've been running dirt there, so we got rid of the dirt, kicked dirt off the track.
I'm glad they did because I hated the dirt on the track.
We're back to concrete in the spring. The problem is it was only 61 degrees. They've had rain in the area over the whole weekend, so it was a very cool day, cloudy.
Yeah.
So you didn't have the sun heating up the track,
and you didn't have the tires laying down the rubber.
Calm down before. Wow, how about just blow the load already? Here we go, Kim.
Please get your shit together.
Oh.
Well, Kim just blew the load already. Blown loads already, babe.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, so the tires are on the cars, and holy shit, we've got a problem.
Yes.
Now the teams have 9 sets of tires plus 1 set of scuffs from qualifying.
Well, yeah, and as they got into this,
we couldn't even make 30 laps in the very beginning of this race, and tires were failing.
Yeah,
I mean, they were ripping apart.
By the time,
because okay, let's talk about the way NASCAR is today, or the current NASCAR racing is. You drive the car balls to the wall, top speed all the time. You don't, you only let off going in the corner a little bit, and it's right back to full throttle. There's no tire management anymore. I mean, once in a while you get a fuel mileage race, pretty much that's your plate races. Other than that, there's no fuel management anymore, and there's no tire management into the current NASCAR series.
No.
With these current cars. So this ended up becoming a tire management race.
Yes, it did.
It was fucking hilarious watching all these youngsters and their tires falling off the cliff. I mean, it wasn't like they had, like one lap and they had a little warning. It was, you got there and it boom.
Yeah.
And I mean, it don't mean it blew up, but it friggin' fell right off the cliff. All of a sudden, cars going backwards. You got cars going forward because they saved tires. And holy shit, was it a race?
It was. And it was.
So, real quick, because I've been watching NASCAR since the early 80s. And you got to see a little bit of this race the other day because NASCAR Classics, the YouTube channel, just put up the 1985 Bristol race.
Yes.
Which was on asphalt.
Yes, it was.
And I'm watching this race today going, oh my God, I'm getting the 1985 feeling. This is old school Bristol. This is what we known Bristol Motor Speedway to be.
Yeah.
And you are supposed to, you're technically working, but you got it on in the back.
Yes.
And I stayed up. I couldn't fall asleep at all during all 500 laps.
No.
I was awake the whole damn race.
Yes.
I was on my seat for most of the race.
Yeah.
We got through stage 1, stage 2. We get stage 3, which is pretty much half the race, 250 fucking laps still to go.
Yeah.
Of 500. And we get a green flag pit stop.
We do.
Which is fucking crazy because at this point, the drivers, these younger drivers their crew chiefs are literally having them run it until they blow a fucking tire.
Well, yeah.
And once they blow a tire, get down on pit road.
Well, yeah.
And that is what was happening. I mean, I'm listening to the radio for Bubba Wallace, Car 23 spotter, Freddie Kraft, and crew chief Booty Blocker. And all of a sudden, I hear Bubba just say, tire just went. And you hear Freddie go, pit road down.
Yeah.
And it was like, holy shit. I mean, you can see it on the broadcast. You know, they're literally popping tires and then driving to the pit road.
They were, and some of the tires that came off, I mean,
they were over halfway corded. I mean,
yeah.
Before that, we were already getting. I mean, every time the tires came off the cars, we had cords.
Yeah,
this track was, again, like Kim said earlier, it was not taking rubber. Now they placed down some resin, and again, like I said last fall, they put down the PJ1, Kim's favorite stuff.
No, it's not. Just clarify that.
This year they put down some resin on the bottom lane, and again, we had a truck race yesterday. No rubber got put down.
No.
We had stage 1, stage 2. The track's not darkening up like it should. No. There's no rubber going on this track. And the reason why I think no rubber actually went on the track.
Yes.
What?
Go ahead.
Is because of the fact it was a 61-degree air temp. The track it had no sunshine on the track.
No.
You know, in and out of clouds. So you get in the track hot enough. I believe that is the reason why we didn't see the track take any rubber.
Well, no.
And because what we found out from Goodyear, because during halfway about through the race, Goodyear hosts a press conference.
That's because by that time,
and literally saying that this is the same tire we ran here last fall.
Yeah, and literally by the time the press conference came, NASCAR literally had to tell these teams we're releasing another set of tires because they knew 9 sets of tires was not going to do it.
So they have Goodyear has one set of tires that they can give all 40 cars.
Yeah.
So another set of 4 tires back in their little area where Goodyear's at. So their technicians are in their fucking mountain tires, D-mountain tires, mountain tires, getting the weighting them down so they're balanced properly and all that crap. And NASCAR wasn't going to release these tires until all teams could get tires.
Yeah.
Once they did, they released a set of tires, and all of a sudden you saw, I mean, there's literally a deal on Twitter where it says Black Friday sale at Goodyear.
Yeah, exactly.
And got all the teams rushing down and grabbing new tires.
Oh yeah,
and actually they weren't really new. They were new, but they were new last year in the fall.
Yeah.
So these tires have actually been, they still hadn't touched the track yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was crazy. But God, as an old time NASCAR fan that I am, I was in seventh heaven because I was like, my God, this is what I remember NASCAR racing being at Bristol. The only difference is these cars are not overpowered.
No, they're not.
These cars are very, as Chase Elliott pointed out in an interview yesterday at Bristol.
Yes.
These engines are being run inefficiently.
Yeah, they are.
With the way they're being run. And earlier in the week, Denny Hamlin on his podcast, Actions Detrimental, also made a comment that he has literally been told by engine developers or engine people that all they have to do is do a couple things and boom, you could have this engine at 850, 950. You could have the full power of the engine.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I'm like, okay, let's just fucking release the.
Yeah, let's
go back to the way it used to be. Because that's what NASCAR has been brought up on.
Yeah, it's not like when you turn the engine power up, you're going to damage these cars in any way, shape, or form, because they went to the composite bodies. You can hit the wall.
Oh God, man, these guys plowing down walls sometimes and if they hit it, it's perfectly flush.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing might break is a goddamn toe link, and then they can go repair that real quick down pit road.
But as far as disintegrating the car like in years past, no, it doesn't disintegrate the car.
And one other one is on the Dell Jr. download, Kyle Larson was on there to talk about the week he won at Vegas, and Dell Jr. asked him about that too, and Kyle's like, as far as I know, it can turn him up. And again, they asked Chase the same thing because again, Chase Elliott, his uncle Ernie Elliott, was the motor man for his father Bill Elliott back in the 9 quarters car days when Bill was setting track records and shit and winning a lot of races.
Yeah.
So again, Chase knows a little bit, and again, it's one of those things where it's not going to cost any more money.
No.
They could easily just turn these fucking engines up,
Well,
which is what I like to see them do, because you do that. Because right now most of the time we got too hard of a tire at most of these tracks. So you turn the engine power back up to 850 or 950. Well, now you're going to get tire wear. Tire wear becomes a thing. And there's people sitting there saying tire wear is not what racing is about. The fuck it ain't. You go to every goddamn short track in this goddamn country. I don't care if it's asphalt or I don't care if it's fucking dirt. You go talk to any driver out there and they're going to talk about tire wear. They're going to talk about having to nurse and take care of the tires, even to run 24 laps.
Yeah.
Or a 50 lap main event.
Yeah.
They are nursing the tires.
Well, yeah, they are.
We've seen it multiple times when we've gone out here to our local dirt track.
Yeah.
They are nursing the tires and they don't unleash until they get closer to the end of the race when they can go.
Yeah. Because teams are only allotted supposed to be only allotted a certain amount of tires.
Well, that's the thing is NASCAR gave the teams 9 sets of tires.
Yeah.
And because of what was happening in stage 1 and stage 2 of this race.
Yeah. Which they were well aware of it. Yes. During practice on Saturday.
Right. We found this out. Martin Truex Jr. did an interview at the end of the race, and he said they saw it about 20 laps into practice on Saturday.
Yeah.
That these tires were not lasting.
Yeah.
That they're already ripping them up. So, okay. First of all, why did nobody went to NASCAR and said, hey, we've got this fucking issue?
Yeah.
Then NASCAR could have went, Goodyear said, hey, we got this issue. Goodyear could have then taken their tire facility in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And said, hey, we need
a certain amount
5 more sets of tires
per team
sent our way.
Yeah.
Because they said with the 10 set added in, that's 140. It was 140 tires.
Yeah.
That you used over this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. They could have had a truck on its way overnight last night.
Yeah.
Would have been here early this morning.
Yeah.
Early in the morning in Bristol. They could have got the tires all mounted up for all the teams. And NASCAR could have said, okay, we're not going to release this new tires to you until we see what's happening. And the minute, by the time you get to the third fucking caution, we're taking tires off and every set of tire has been ate up.
Yeah.
NASCAR could have said, okay, screw this. We're
releasing them.
Releasing all tires.
Yeah.
Goodyear's got them already got them mounted. Go get tires. Go get your tires. We're going to need this.
Yeah, exactly.
The track's not, obviously when the track's not taking rubber, you're going to eat tires up.
Yeah, you are.
And again, now I'm with Dale Jr. Here's my thing. I'm with Dale Earnhardt Jr. where I'm like, fuck this shit. Rip up the concrete, put it back to asphalt.
Well, yeah, because there's so many. Asphalt's come a long ways, and there is a way that they can use it for the banks.
Not just that. Bristol used to be asphalt, and it wasn't like 92, 93. They went to concrete because drivers kept whining and crying about the track being bumpy. Wah, get over it, bitch. You're
at your fucking highest level of competition. You're a pro athlete doing a pro sport.
Right. It's like I told Kim, I said it'd be like the point of the National Football League saying, okay, we're gonna play football, but now we're gonna take away tackle and we're gonna play flag.
Yeah.
At a pro level.
Yeah.
It's like also with her thing with Formula One using tire blankets for the top of the series.
Yeah.
Which, again, we can go on that real quick. The drivers say, oh, we can't run these tires. Yet you get to FP or Q1, Q2, Q3. They're sitting down in fucking pit lane for 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Let the tires cool after they come out of the blankets.
Yeah, exactly. It's like.
So don't tell me they can't be. You don't know how to warm them up, because obviously you do. You're sitting down on the fucking in the pit lane with these tires not in the blanket.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're losing temp.
For up to sometimes even a half hour, depending on how froggy they get.
It's usually about 5 minutes. I'm exaggerating, saying 10 to 20 minutes.
Well,
it's about 5 minutes.
Still,
you're losing enough tire temp where you have to warm them tires back up.
Well, yeah, and also the thing is okay. So they go around for their formation lap.
Right.
Most of them sit on that grid for about 10 minutes with no tire blankets on. So the tire temp is gone down. So by God, learn to use your talent and learn to warm them up, because you know how to do it.
Right. So what happens today is, one, we end up with an old school Bristol race. Only the top 5 are on the lead lap at the end of this race.
Yes.
This is definitely old school Bristol. I mean, there's times where, in days past, in the 80s, the 70s, 80s, and maybe even early 90s, where you'd have the winner be 2 laps ahead of everybody.
Yes.
Regardless of, almost sometimes regardless of what track you're at.
Yeah.
So this is nothing new.
No.
Just some of these younger fans, newer fans are freaking out because this ain't racing. No, the fuck it ain't. This is racing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is fucking racing.
Yeah, they're freaking out. Oh, racing isn't this. Racing is putting your foot to the floor and
no, it's not.
go.
That's not racing. That's video game racing.
Yeah.
That's video game racing. That's slot car racing. But this isn't slot cars. It actually said slot. I was going to say slut.
I know.
I've been waiting for me to fuck it up and say slut car, but I said slot.
Yeah.
I just said slut car.
Yeah.
I just did it on purpose.
I know.
Anyway, so go ahead and go to this top 5. So the top 5 is kind of interesting, especially the top 3 drivers. Because guess what? When the cream has to rise to the top, guess who's going to come to the top? And that's your fucking veteran drivers who have been around NASCAR for a while and who have actually had to go through
what they went through today.
Go through tire management. And winning the race in car 11, driving for Joe Gibbs Racing, Toyota, Denny Hamlin. Finishing second, driving for Joe Gibbs Racing in the Toyota, car number 19.
Car number 19. Martin Truex Jr., which is Denny Hamlin's teammate.
And Kim's favorite driver.
And my favorite driver. And then third is Brad Keselowski from RFK.
Or better known as Ross Fenway Keselowski Racing, driving the number 6 Ford. Now, this one's a little shocking. Okay, so there's your top 3 right there. All veterans.
Yeah.
Right? 4th place is a young gun.
Yeah.
But come to find out, this guy has done a lot of short track racing in his time. Yeah, even as a young kid. And car 48, Alex Bowman, driving for Hendrick Motorsports, finishes 4th place. Great finish for Alex.
Yeah, great finish.
Bowman's needed a good finish. He's had some bad luck. A few races, he had finished second in Daytona. And after that, he hasn't really been near the
top 10.
And so he needed a good run. And then finishing right behind him, his teammate, driving number 5, Rick Hendrick Chevrolet, Kyle Larson. Again, Kyle, he's a fucking dirt racer.
He is. So he knows how to manage tires too.
Now, the thing is do I want to see this week in, week out? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. At least if we see it week in, week.
Or at least I want to see this at Richmond.
Yeah.
And at Martinsville.
Well, yeah.
I would love this tire. And again, I don't think everything's the tire problem. I don't think it was a tire problem. One of the problems I think it is one, these teams have gotten so used to setting these cars up so stiff.
Yeah.
They give them the car the Viagra, so that motherfucker is rock hard.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to do it.
That's fine.
And they need to go back to learn how to set up race cars.
Yeah, they do.
And now, the other thing I could say also, too, is NASCAR should there should have been more practice time.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, if they already knew that, but the problem is you only got a 20-minute practice. You ain't got enough time to change things.
No.
So we used to have 90-minute practice, 2 90-minute practice sessions plus a qualifying session. I think with the way this ended up today, I would like to see us go back to that for now.
Yeah.
I get it. The spotters and teams, it costs a lot of money. I get it. But I think we need to do it because I think these crew chiefs
need to know
especially
how
these younger ones need to learn how
act.
to learn how to set up a goddamn race car at the goddamn track versus setting up based on simulation running at the shop.
Well, you put it more nicely than what I would have.
That's what they do. They get these drivers in, they run simulation laps, again, on a video game. I mean, let's call it what it is. It's a fucking video game. And that's how they're setting these cars up.
Well, yeah, like I said, you're putting it a lot nicer than what I would.
I listen to, again, I love listening to like Dale Jr. and all them. I'm listening to like some of the races I missed last year. Obviously, when I was in Nevada, I didn't get to see all the races. And so I'm catching up on a lot of my podcasts from back then for NASCAR. And one of the races that Junior talked about is his simulation practice was fine for Bristol, but his simulation, what he ran on this, what he felt on the simulator didn't correlate to Homestead.
No.
So again, and like he said, this is $1 million machine.
Yeah.
So, and again, F1, I mean, again, Formula One uses this. They use it.
Yeah, I know they do.
But it works.
Yeah, I know it does.
I don't know what they've done differently compared to, maybe it's just that the oval tracks, you can't get all their nuances in them. I don't know. Formula One's got it down.
Yeah.
Because usually whatever they figure out, whatever's figured out by the guy running the simulation, even over the weekend, they add it to the car and the car responds.
Yeah.
Exactly what they thought it would do.
Yeah.
Again, Formula One's a little bit different than NASCAR. But anyways, I digress.
Well, both sports, in my opinion, is too much engineered.
Oh, I agree.
Too much dependent on fucking aero. And
aero.
And it's like, why don't you just wrap these drivers in a box and put a bow on them?
Are you wrapping them in a box, putting a bow on them while they're clothed or naked?
Well,
you're turning red.
Well, it's just what it is. I mean, these.
We'll call you Red Panda next.
That's fine. I mean, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, no. But I mean,
there's more engineering than there is anything else.
That's expected, okay? I mean, we don't run the Saturn V rocket anymore and the Apollo capsules because it was the best thing we could come up with. No, our engineering staffs made the space shuttle. Yes, we're going back to it with kind of Artemis, with the the rocket being more like the Saturn V. But again, it's going to be also more economical compared to what Saturn V was.
Well, yeah, and I'm not saying that.
So I mean, again, you're going to have movement in your engineering, and your engineering is going to make things more mechanical wear, more mechanical, more aero dependent. And again, that is also on the FIA for not bringing in better rules. I mean, look at the front wing of these cars. There's like 3 slots through, and they're angled at certain right. If you just make that wing be one fucking wing, one bar across, and there's no movement to it, no change in it, that changes the whole airflow around the car.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying NASCAR is 99.9% dependent on engineering, and so is F1.
Right. Okay, but that's because NASCAR is said, okay, we want to have a competitive series. We want to have what they call parity. We want the first place cars to be, like your big teams like Hendrick, Gibbs, Roush, Stewart-Haas, Childress. We want all those teams to be able to be beat by the smaller teams down the bottom, like your track. I mean, I don't even put Trackhouse in there anymore, but like your Rick Ware Racings and stuff like that. That's what they've done with this car. The problem is this car, they've made it to do this, but the problem is those big teams I just announced, guess what? Why are they winning races so much again? Because the longer they run this car as is, the more engineering they can, the more NASCAR says you can't do this, can't do that. But guess what? They are able to run all this in wind tunnel testing. They can figure out what they can mess with, what they're allowed to mess with, and get the best out of the car, where these smaller teams don't have the money to do this stuff. Right?
No, they don't.
It's not like if you are a Toyota racing team, Legacy Motorsports, who used to be Richard Petty Enterprises, Legacy Motorsports can go to TRD, Toyota Racing Development, and use their wind tunnel.
Yeah.
Where Joe Gibbs Racing got their own fucking wind tunnel.
Well, yeah.
So Joe Gibbs will go use their fucking wind tunnel, but but the Chevy and the Ford teams don't have that. Like Chevy, it's funny because like Toyota, when they came in and said, okay, we are sharing information with all Toyotas, regardless of what team you're on. We're a brand of Toyotas.
Yeah.
Okay. Chevy and Ford and Dodge at that time did not have that same thing.
No.
They did not share, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Chad Canales and them would share a little bit of data with each other, but not like what Toyota did.
Yeah.
Toyota came in and they literally and eventually when they got their cars good, guess what? They started beating everyone's ass.
Yeah.
You know, that's when Kyle Busch started winning championships. That's when Kyle Busch started winning a lot of races. Danny Hamlin won a lot of races also.
Yeah.
You know, Tony Stewart was winning races. You know,
Mm-hmm.
actually Tony wasn't there. I think he already left by the time they went to Toyota. But you know what I mean. Michael Waltrip Racing was winning races.
Yeah.
You know, and it's because of all this TRD stuff.
Yeah.
I give Toyota credit because you know what? I mean, I'm sorry. Here, this is for Toyota TRD. You know what? You took it and you told Chevy and Ford and Dodge finally said, bye, we're leaving this bitch. You told Ford and Chevy, fuck you. We're going to share all this information with all of our teams. Yeah. The problem is now what we get, you get Daytona, Atlanta, and Talladega, the plate races. And now you got, when it comes to pitting, you got all the Chevys going in. You got all the Fords going in together. And you got all the Toyotas going in together.
Yeah.
You know, it literally, I mean, there's that Netflix, so it's like Drive to Survive, but it's not Drive to Survive. I think it's Full Throttle.
Race to the Championship or something.
Anyways, I think it's called Full Throttle or something like that.
Full
but
Throttle.
Anyways, there's a point there where you actually hear. I think it was it was a Ford guy, right? Say, okay, just remember we're pitting together as a team. We're all Fords today. You know, no matter what, we want a Ford to win the race. In other words, hey, Ryan Blaney, don't go help Bubba Wallace win the race for you. You know, don't help Bubba Wallace win the race because he's your buddy.
Yeah.
You know, we want a Ford. You need to push a Ford. Well, what happened was, in that race that they showed, Ryan Blaney got left by not only the other Ford teams, he got left by his own Penske teammates left him.
Yeah.
So he the radio says, fuck them all, and did his own thing.
Yeah.
Bravo, Ryan Blaney. Bravo, man.
Yeah.
I applaud you for doing that.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, if they're not willing to play ball because, hey, they don't want you to win the fucking race, fuck them.
Yeah.
Anyways, what we got coming up, Kim?
Well,
is that all you want to talk about? We pretty much covered Bristol, right?
Yeah, we pretty much covered it.
So let's go ahead and talk about what we got coming up.
Well, we got Australia coming up this weekend. We've also
for Formula One, Australia's this weekend.
Formula One, Australia's this weekend.
Right.
For NASCAR, it's COTA or
Circuit of the Americas.
Circuit of the Americas. Most of us know it as COTA.
Right. So real quick, let's go over, as she said, Australia. We're just going to go over the main parts of Australia.
It's a something park.
Yeah. But it's the Australian Grand Prix. It's at Albert Park Circuit.
Uh-huh.
It's 5.278 kilometers in length. Number of laps, 58. Mm-hmm. First Grand Prix there was 1996. Race distance is 306.124 kilometers. And the race record is 120.235. So a minute 20 set by Sergio Perez last year.
Yeah.
So again, 58 laps around Albert Park. COTA, Circuit of the Americas, is going to be ran 68 laps for 231.88 miles by the NASCAR Cup Series.
Yeah.
Not sure who's all there this weekend. I don't care what Xfinity and truck series are doing. I just know it's Circuit of the Americas next for Cup, and that is Sunday, March 24th, same as Australia. And then after that, obviously Cup is one after another. We hit March 30th, 31st, we'll be at Richmond, yes. 400 laps for 300 miles. And Sunday, April 7th, we'll be at Martinsville, 400 laps, 210 miles. Yes. And then we'll go to Kim's favorite track on Sunday, April 14th, Texas Motor Speedway.
That's going to be oh God.
Well, let's hope they don't put the PJ1 down or resin, and maybe bring the fucking tire they brought to Bristol. That'd be funny enough if they brought that tire.
Yeah, I would.
Problem is what makes Texas bad is it's built for 5-line racing, and they can barely use a lane.
Yeah.
In the corners.
Yeah. Which makes the race nose to tail boring.
Well, what happened is the last year when Texas was first built, it was a boring fucking race.
Yeah.
Right. So they decided to make the same thing. They did the same thing with Vegas, right? The last year that they were going to run under the current configuration, before they're going to bulldoze most of the track and reconfigure it, you had your best racing
Yeah.
at both Texas and at Vegas.
Yeah.
No, different years, but same thing happened. And so they bulldozed the track, bulldozed, changed the cornering and shit. And now all of a sudden you went from having a 5 wide corner to now you got about 1.5 lanes you can use. So it's pretty much follow the leader.
Still boring.
I know it's boring. Kim. And then as far as Vegas went, luckily they got good racing out of it after the reconfigure.
Yeah.
To a point. I mean, again, we talked about this year's race. I felt like boring as fuck.
It was.
But then again, I don't know if it's the tracks. I think it's more the cars.
I think it is too.
I think it's literally this. I mean, let's admit it. It's like an IROC car where it's a kit car. Everyone has the same kit. Just a little bit differences on the body angles because of the manufacturers.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's the same fucking car. Everything underneath is the same car.
Yeah, it is. And
that's why you're going to get the racing you're getting. Hey, you Baldo.
Hello.
How you doing, my man? Yes, good morning. Yeah, we're about done, bro. We of course, this is our racing show, so we don't expect too many people to jump in on it. But so this week we got Australia for Australian Grand Prix.
Yep.
Which, okay, Kim, give me who you think is going to win the race.
Verstappen.
Who?
Max Verstappen.
Yes, Max Verstappen. Obviously, Red Bull Racing is going to
more
likely 1-2. Sergio Perez is going to be second. And third place, I'm going to go on a limb, or not really. I'm just going to say, if he's back, be Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
Otherwise, fuck it. I'm going to say Ollie Berman will get his first podium if he's driving in place of Carlos.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
Merc ain't close enough to do it. Mercedes ain't close enough to do it. McLaren could be there.
Uh-huh.
McLaren's probably the team right behind Ferrari right now.
Uh-huh.
And we don't know what who the fuck are they again? Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Lance Stroll's daddy's team. I want it now.
Yeah.
I really need to get that and put it on the board.
It's okay, you Baldo. We understand you've been working.
Oh, you're all good, dude. You're all good.
You're good.
No, you're fine. No problem. Now we figured everybody will see this later on. They'll both like, motherfuckers went live at what time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I mean, hell, it's what? I don't know what time it is here. Shit.
I can tell you it's
4:17.
Yeah.
4:00 in the morning here. I'll have a drink to everybody. It's 5:00 somewhere.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it's 5:00 over in the Mountain Time Zone because we now technically Pacific.
Yeah, we are.
Wow, I wish everybody quit changing the times. Anyways, so we got Australia coming up for Formula One. NASCAR, Coda, Kim, who you think is going to win this race? We all start doing like they do on DBC and like make a list of drivers that we can't choose from anymore.
Yeah.
But maybe that's what we'll look into maybe next season.
Yeah.
Because that way we can start from the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
We'll just have fun with it this year. We'll just pick whoever the fuck.
Yep. On Mountain Time.
Yeah, I know, right? We were together. Now we're not.
I really don't know. I hope it's my driver, Martin Truex Jr.
So you're hoping you're going for Martin for the win at Coda?
Yeah.
Does he do well at road courses?
Yeah, he does.
Okay. Well, this is going to be a real hard limb, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be a Hendrick Motorsport driver that wins this fucking race.
Yeah.
Now there's 4 of them. Who do you think I'm going to pick?
Probably Chase.
You got that right. Driver of the number 9 car needs a fucking win. Did not have any wins last year. Needs a win this year to kind of get back into things. I'm going to go with number 9 car, Chase Elliott.
Yeah.
Going to be your winner at Coda Circuit of the Americas.
All right.
And again, that will be on Fox. Is it on Fox or FS1? I'm looking. It's on Fox. At 12:30 p.m. here, so it's roughly 3:30 p.m. Eastern.
It's 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 here. Yes.
Yes. That's right. 3:30 Eastern is actually when the green flag is going to drop.
Yes.
So 68 lap road course, and believe me, there will be no track limits there because these NASCAR cars fucking go all over the place at that place.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, look. Hey, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
But yeah, so that's what we got coming up. Again, IndyCar. I'm not going to talk about IndyCar until the Indianapolis 500 in May.
Yes. Yes.
That's when I will start talking about IndyCar. That's the only time I care about IndyCar.
Yeah.
Yes, we do love our racing.
Yes, we do.
And believe me, if we could afford tickets to go to the Chicago race for Cup this year, we would be there.
Yeah, we would.
But, yeah, we can't. I mean, hell, we can't even afford to go to Formula One.
No.
But yeah. I mean, honestly, right now, my go-to tracks for like Formula One is still gonna be Austin.
Yes.
Austin, Texas, Circuit of America. We're gonna run NASCAR this weekend.
Yes.
That's my go-to for Formula One because it's a purposeful built track for Formula One. It was to replace the Indianapolis Motor Speedway when IndyCar and Tony George, the owner of Indianapolis Motor Speedway, had a falling out with Formula One. And as far as NASCAR goes, we just raced on my favorite track. Believe me, I would love to go to Bristol Motor fucking Speedway because holy shit, I love that track. Fucking half mile, bullring. Within, well, except for that's the one thing that didn't happen this week is this weekend was we didn't have a lot of people getting lapped.
No, we didn't.
They were going so slow they saved tires that nobody got lapped.
You know, if we were actually able to go, Ubaldo, we'd take you with us. And yes, Nicole, I understand you'd be going with us too.
Yeah. Actually, we probably could go if I just stopped buying shit off eBay. That'd be the one thing. Because holy crap, did I buy some shit yesterday?
Yeah.
Won 2 auctions and picked up a DVD, a brand new DVD, not brand new, but brand new, still sealed DVD. For a hell lot cheaper than what we could buy it here at Walmart.
Yes.
So yeah. And what? How many records? 1, 2, 3.
Sorry, I don't know.
No, 3 records.
Oh.
3 more records. 3 more LPs coming our way. Plus, there's still 2 in the mail. They're going to be here. Oh, today.
Yeah, today.
Today, but I guess Scott's got to get a little bit of sleep so we can have this today.
Yeah.
But anyways, exactly. All right, man. We got everybody going to drive. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, it'd be fun to go to the Chicago race. Honestly, Nicole, I really hope your people over there shoot down Formula One coming to Chicago. You want it's worse than it'd be worse of a cluster for Formula One than it would be for NASCAR.
Yeah,
because they really screwed up the Vegas race. I know we weren't doing the show at the time because I was I was home for Vegas, wasn't I? I was home for Vegas.
You were home for
but
Vegas.
We didn't do a show.
No,
but yeah, what they did for Vegas was a debacle.
Yeah, it was.
Formula One was a bunch of dicks about things. They literally were trying to force the casino to pay $1,500 per person in the upper restaurants at max capacity. Not like if like I say, they only had 20 people come in, but they host like you could have 400 people in there. They were gonna have to pay like it was crazy as amount of money.
Yeah, it was.
And finally, Vegas, you're like, well, fine, we'll screw you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the casino's like, well, fine, we'll put up blinds, we'll block your damn race.
Yeah.
You know, we want to show your race in our sports books.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the casinos got a lot of power in Vegas.
Yeah, they do.
Anyways. Oh my gosh. Anyways. Yeah, so probably the same time next week, 5 a.m. Monday morning. I'm assuming, Kim?
Yeah.
Unless we can pull one off. Maybe depending on what time the races get over with her getting off at 11 o'clock at night. Maybe we can do it a little earlier.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe like midnight our time.
Yeah.
So it'll be like 3 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, we'll see.
3 a.m. Eastern.
Otherwise, 2 a.m. is no big deal for me and Kim because most of the time we are up.
Yeah.
Usually I'm the one struggling to stay up.
Now I'm the one struggling.
Because I mean, I finally got, yesterday? I finally got back on a sleep, daytime up, nighttime sleep schedule.
Yeah.
And now here we are, 4 o'clock in the morning. I haven't been in bed yet.
Yeah.
Well, I did take a little nap though.
Yeah, which is.
I took a nap. Old people got to take naps.
Yeah, which I think I should have once I got off.
Yeah. Well, we won't talk about getting people off. Anyways, until yeah, that is crazy, Yuval. I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, Formula One, they're kind of a bunch of dicks. They think that they're that high end motorsport world and whatever, they can suck it.
Yeah.
But anyways, until next weekend, I'm Scott.
I'm Kim.
We are Using Abuse. And of course, our third co-host is in the chat, Nicole. But this is a racing show.
Yes, it is.
Again, if we can figure out a name for the racing show and pull it away from Using Abuse, we might just do that. We'll see.
Yes.
Otherwise, it'll be here on the same Using Abuse channel. You get everything else. So for those of you that don't like racing and sports talk, sorry.
Yeah.
But we do love it. And it's one of our passions. So it's one thing we can do early in the friggin' morning and have fun at it.
Yeah.
But
you have a good morning too, Nicole.
Yeah, Nicole, you have a great day. Good morning, good day at work. You follow you too. And I'll have a drink to you both. This is a little Coke and Fireball. 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm already drinking. Oh, wait, I've been drinking all night. Not really. Huh?
Yeah, not really.
All right. And until next week, like we said, we are Scott and Kim. We are Using Abuse Pod. Nicole's in the chat. She is also part of the Using Abuse Pod. And until next Monday sometime, hope you have a great work week.
And the great rest of the day today.
Okay, and a great weekend. Wow, Kim. I mean, by the time we talk next, it'll be past the weekend.
Yeah, I know.
Be kind to everyone. And of course, I have not got the right buttons pressed. And here we go. This one, that's the opening.
Uh-huh.
The opening we didn't do because we're gonna try and change up for the racing show.
Yeah, move it down one.
I know, I'm right. Oh, right there. And just for Nicole.
Please get your shit together.
That's why Kim said move it down one, because Scott's got to get his shit together. And have a great one. Peace.
Peace.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.